Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Joining us for our Sunday gathering for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's legacy. Appreciate you guys being here. Someone's got background stuff going on there. So, yes, thank you for being with us. I want to just do some seconds before we get into it. Who is that? You don't know? Interesting. Okay. Well, hi, everyone. Let's start with Deb Cruz. Deb Cruz, how are you?
You're muted, Deb.
She's not. I don't know why we're not hearing her, though. Interesting. Okay, well, let's try you guys. Katie and Stephanie, how are you?
Hey, we're good on this sunny afternoon in Minnesota after a cloudy weekend. So it's awesome.
Awesome. Howard?
Doing well, thanks. Everything is good here. We've got gray whales just to the east of Whidbey Island. The first of the regulars, the sounders, have come in. And it's a beautiful, windy, cloudy day here.
Thanks for being with us, always. Ma, how are you?
Yeah, all good here, thanks. Just good to be here and be back with the pod again.
And Christina?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here, back in the living. Yeah. But yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day to be on TokiTV, as always. Love you.
Glad to have you back. Glad you're feeling better. Yeah, glad you're feeling better. Alejandro.
Hello, everyone. I'm here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Sunday to everyone.
Happy Sunday, Al.
Happy Sunday.
Glad you're here. And then Marcia, how are you? What were you up to this week?
I'm good. I did a talk at U of M, University of Miami, on Monday, and I was a little nervous. There was a lot of PhD students, but good attendance, extreme interest in Toki's story, and most of the talk, it was in a class about policy and environmental movements and things like that. And basically it was a bummer how policy failed Toki and other captive animals, but mostly regarding her life. USDA, NOAA, all these other people, they knew her situation for decades, and she got grandfathered in year after year after year, and they were very interested in how to fix these problems that are sort of deeply rooted in our systems that we have in place right now and how to overcome some of these obstacles and stuff. So it was a really good talk. It was almost 2 hours and it felt like it was 15 minutes. So it went well. I got to talk about Toki and tell some stories, and it was really great to see young people. There was older people in that class too, as interested as they were in wanting to help. So it's very positive.
It's awesome.
Thanks.
That's a big
Yeah.
contribution to Toki's legacy, right? Continuing to educate others. So thank you, Marcia. And who better to hear stories about Toki than you? I know when we talk, it's just feels like I'm, back when she was alive. It felt like I was there experiencing those things, and still to this day, when we talk about her, it feels the same. That energy is still there. So thanks, Marcia, for blessing the world with that, and with your experience, being able to share that with others and being a voice for what's next. What didn't work. It's important to acknowledge that, right? What didn't
Yeah.
work. So
It's sad to look back and say a lot of things didn't work and that we failed her in so many ways, but perhaps we can learn from those mistakes and help, the ones that are remaining to find some sanctuary, right? And I wanted to mention also to Howard, I just think about the super pod the day of her death and the day before. I ended my talk with that powerful story, and
Wow.
all of the faces in that room, like there were tears in people's eyes. It was a very powerful moment. So I was happy to be able to bring them into that and leave them with that question, like, how is this possible? How did they know what's happening here? So if you can leave a group with questions to solve, you did it right, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my goal.
Yeah, well done.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Marcia.
Yes, thank you. You sent out some big waves, more than just ripples.
Send some
I'm
waves
sure.
out. Let's see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My pleasure.
the more people we talk to, the more that these Toki TV shows are shared, those informative posts from Orca Network and Center for Whale Research and Wild Orca, like the more of that we share, you have no idea, again, that one person that might read this that takes that on and creates something of their own and just ripple, the ripple effect. And we said that. So Marcia, who better to talk to than these folks? So thank you very much. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
I want to we have a lot to talk about today. Random. We're going to be very random today. But we have a lot to talk about. But I know I want to show this at the beginning of the show because people are here for that, I think. Here is this photo. And Ma, can you tell us a little bit about how this is created?
Yeah, sure. Again, she comes to me with her energy, and this is the result of Toki's energy. And it's this painting's purely watercolor, and then of course strips of her wetsuit attached to the painting, and it's just, as I'm painting it, it just feels magic. I'm using ocean sun water that Christina sent to me, but it was the water in the Salish Sea that Ocean Sun actually swam through. So I'm using that for the watercolour and nothing else. So there's the first part of the magic. Obviously, all my Reiki sigils and prayers are always included in all of my artwork. And if you don't see them, usually they're included in the actual artwork as well as on the back of the artwork. And then, of course, the treasured piece of her favourite toy ever, and that's her wetsuit. So I hope that you can feel it when you actually look at the painting.
Ma, is that 11 by 14? You might have already said that. Is that?
Yeah, it is 11 by 14. Yeah, it is. Sorry. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So guys, if you want to, we're going to bid. We're in the highest bidder at the end of the show. We'll get that beautiful painting. Important to remember that shipping depending on where you are. If you guys will need to be responsible for your own shipping. But this, oh, there it is live. Here, let me make this big. Make this big. Here we go. That's gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. And that's a really big.
Yeah,
That's a big.
try not to get the reflection. There you go.
I know it's hard when the things are mirrored, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a gorgeous.
She is.
Starting
Yeah.
bid $250, you guys. And the money. Let's talk about that because people want to know, right? So you're bidding on this. Not only, obviously, you want to have that hanging. I want to have that hanging on my wall. I might. I don't see those bids coming in here pretty soon, but you obviously want that. But the money that's being raised from that, Christina, what are we doing? What's coming up? What do we got going on?
We have a big rally coming up at the state capitol here on March 11th. And also what is going to be a series of events. It's not just going to be this one. We're going to at least do 2 more. We're going to do one at Senator Murray's offices in downtown Seattle. Again, I don't have the dates yet. I'm just going to get through this one and then I'll move on to the next one. And we're also going to do another one at Bonneville Power Administration offices in downtown Portland. Both of those are really significant places to go, and we just need to make sure that we keep breaching of the dams on the front lines, because that's like ultimately like the most important thing in my world. Because as we know, we lost J6D because they're starving. They don't have enough food. And, if we get these dams breached, the food will start coming back right away. So we're just raising money for whatever we need. Speaker, transportation, whatever. We need money for signs and banners and whatever we need. Like if we have to rent something that we don't have, some sort of equipment, I'm looking to borrow stuff from whoever I can, but sometimes people just don't have it. And so, if I have to rent things. So it's all going to a really good cause, and that's all for Toki's family, Southern resident orcas, and breaching of the dams. I mean, if we got like a lot of money, it would be awesome to make a billboard or, do something. We don't have that kind of money yet, but whatever the money will be going towards a good cause. So if you can donate, we have, sorry for my voice, we have the fish, we have the salmon fish, and anyone who gets a salmon fish, it's $10. You get a message written on the back that will be left at Governor Inslee's office. And we'll do the same, with the other places that we're going to. But for now, that's what we're doing. And then also we're going to be doing, well, wait, should I?
Well, okay, so let's talk about fish a little bit. So the salmon, you could buy salmon. So if you guys go to the GoFundMe, which I'm frantically trying to find the link for right now.
Oh, sorry, I should send that to you.
That's okay. We'll get it up there. But the GoFundMe, if anybody who donates $10 or more, your heart is able to, or it's a love offering, right? So whatever you can do, whatever feels comfortable, whoever does that has the opportunity to have their message written on the back of these salmon, which are going to be left. And then also, I think we said anyone who buys the salmon. So again, $10 or more donation to the GoFundMe, which I will put up in just a minute. If someone beats me to it, that would be really great. But we're also going to anyone who starting now, 1:15 Pacific time, buys the salmon for $10 or more will also be entered into a drawing. And so, or actually, what do we want to call it? A raffle, right? A raffle. So some of the things that we're going to be raffling off next week are, Christina, tell us about this.
This is a little whale-tail ornament from Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's, little gift shop, and it's just a little wooden. It's not really big. It's like I don't know, maybe a Christmas tree ornament, or my son has one. He put it in his review mirror, so it looks really cool. And it's oh, and there's the blanket. Tell us about the blanket, Ma.
The blanket's like it's microfiber, and I think it measures 54 by 39, and it's just covered with orcas. And I'm really thinking of keeping hold of it because I can't part with it. But it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's a lovely blanket. You know, when you just want to sit and watch a movie and cuddle into something, it's one of those. So brand new and never been used. So it's a lovely blanket. And this again is a diamante orca necklace on a 14-inch chain. And again, it's quite a good size, but you know, I think that it's just lovely to wear. Oh, and another one I. Okay, this book is by a lady called Thea Strum, and if you've ever wondered about communicating with animals and the energies of the environment, there's no one better that you can read about. And she goes into detail about her experiences with animals and the natural world in detail. And in many ways, she sort of mirrors my sort of pathway. So a lot of people ask me how do you communicate with animals, and this is a great way to be able to start.
Awesome. And those are just some of the things, guys. I know we're all like, we get into this like it's a giveaway, but it's also like, yes, please buy in. And so we're hoping that there's a lot of folks out there. So send that message about buying the salmon, please. Sorry, I'm trying to reduce the background noise. And so that $10 or more, everybody who donates at the GoFundMe between right now and Sunday morning midnight will be entered into the drawing. And it's really fun. We put a little spinning wheel up. Everybody loves the spinning wheel, and clap and we cheer. We'll be doing that. So share it, you guys. Anybody who donates will be entered into the drawing for all of that. And people are already like, hey, they want the book, they want the blanket. Pearson's asking about the character limit for the salmon. That's a good question, Pearson. Deborah's not on with us, but my guess is what we could do is if you type in your message and send it to us, we can print it and we could probably make the font as small as we need to. So we could put it on the back of the salmon. So say what you got to say, man, get it in there. Put it on there. It's your voice, and this is your opportunity to be present at this event if you can't be physically present at this event. So that's a lot. I just want to say that we have you, Nikki, that did that? I think it is. Nikki started the bidding off at $250. So right now we have our $250 for this beautiful painting. So we'll keep flashing that up there, but just know that the highest bid at the end of the show gets it. And thank you, Nikki, for starting us off. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Nikki.
All right, lots to talk about today. I was hoping some people were going to join. They were trying to join, but there's maybe a service issue. But there's a banner action today going on in honor of Jim Waddell. And Howard, I would like to ask you if you could say a few words and tell us about Jim and the impact Jim has made.
Well, Jim was a dear friend for over a decade. He stood up and basically testified for the salmon and for the orcas, and he informed us from inside the sausage factory. There's Jim, because he was an Army Corps of Engineers engineer who helped write the environmental impact statement of 2001, and he harshly criticized his own work, or basically the work of the Army Corps, because it exaggerated the costs and the problems possibly associated with breaching the dams and minimized the benefits, and then chose the option that was to not breach the dams, even though they spelled out, they did the service of how to breach the dams. It's in that Army Corps of Engineers document, and then they declined to do it. But he came out and he stood up at a screening of what was it, Damnation, that movie that he was in, and he explained it, that those dams can be breached cheaply. It's not a matter of blowing up concrete. It's just a matter of getting a couple of big cats out there and digging a gouge in the earthen berms that are alongside each dam, and let the river reclaim itself. It will flow down and gradually, so there's no big rush of water, it'll restore itself. And he explained how many smolts are killed in the reservoirs, and how many would be saved, and how many would become adult salmon, and how many would become available for the orcas. He understood all of it and explained it so well in so many ways. He was tireless in his efforts. He ran and got elected to the Public Utility District in Port Angeles as a further platform, and he spoke up for the ratepayers, because this would save the ratepayers a lot of money if they would breach the dams. He peeled the onion and showed us what was in there, and breaching the dams would be good for everybody, for the ratepayers, obviously, for the salmon, for the orcas, for the 137 species that we talked about. And he made the case, and with a smile, and he brought a lot of light into our lives, and I will miss Jim. You're muted, Annette.
Oh, see, I did it to myself. Karen Davis, they were out doing a banner action today in honor of Jim, and so they were had a banner, the Breach the Dams banner action today, and I think Christine, I think you said they were doing that in Portland as well with Michelle. So big impact he's made and touched many people, and we'll keep fighting in all of their honor and all the work that they've done. We will continue it. We'll continue it. So hands up to Jim for all he's done, most definitely. All right. I don't really know how to move on from that. It's
awkward segues, but
an awkward segue for sure. But it's why we're doing what we're doing, right? It's why we continue the education. And so, on the 137 species, which we'll be doing in a little while, that are affected by these dams. I mean, it's just, they've got to come down. They've got to come down. I do want to share a happy photo, though. Not happy for some folks, but maybe happy for this guy. Look at that photo, you guys. I mean, I have everybody muted so you can't hear their oohs and ahs. But there we go. Howard,
Oh no!
who took that, Howard? That's amazing.
It looks like the ticket booth at a Taylor Swift concert. They are jammed in.
I knew she'd make her way into our show somehow today.
Yeah, isn't that Orca saying, anybody want to come out and play?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot. They are really looking around. Those are stellar sea lions for the most part, anyway, and transient bigs, orcas. I'm not sure of which one that is. I'm sure it's in the Center for Whale Research report. That's one of the photos of the incredible photos in the Center for Whale Research Encounter Reports. If you go to whaleresearch.com and go down to encounters and find 2024 encounters, that's a recent one. That's Race Rocks, just south and west of Victoria, in the Strait of Juan de Fuca. It sure does show some panic in the eyes of those sea lions.
Man, you see those photos of the year kind of a thing. Holy moly. Yeah, that'll get an award, right? Should get an lot of news this week, you guys. We had the orcas. Yes, Christina, go for it. We had the why not? We had the orcas that were trapped in ice, right, in Japan. So we hear they're out successfully. Howard, you go back to Professor Howard.
Okay.
Tell everyone what happened and what we think happened, and yeah.
Right. Well, this goes back, I think, to February 5th or so. The first notice that first reports, it was a dozen, maybe 13, and then revised to maybe 17. And the drone video was just horrendous, that they were just gasping for breath in this ever tightening little hole in the ice. And from the weather conditions, the winds were coming out of the north. And so that Arctic ice was piling into the shoreline. And that's where they would go. These are salmon-eating orcas. They're very much like our resident orcas here, southern residents, northern residents, and there are two other resident communities of orcas in Alaska. And then further west in the Kamchatka Peninsula and the Sea of Okhotsk, which is just north of Hokkaido, live these I'm not sure if they have a good number, but I think it was about 300 that have been counted. There could be more. I could be corrected on that. Maybe it's more like 500, come to think of it. But a good, healthy population of salmon-eating orcas, and a subgroup, probably a matriline, mother, grandmother, all of her offspring and kids were chasing salmon. And the logical place to catch the most salmon, just like along the west side of San Juan Island, is close to the shoreline. So they came in close to the shoreline, and those winds came in behind them and just locked them in that ice. And it really did look bad until suddenly the wind shifted and the ice thinned out and washed away, and they all got out, which was not a foregone conclusion, because in 2005, 9 orcas got caught in that same exact place, same conditions, and they did not get out alive. So it was a happy ending. Glad to see it.
It was I text everyone, the girls. I text the girls, and I'm like, sorry, my dad's gonna go nuts because his mother just got home. I was like, wake up, everyone! Like, we have to pray. We have to, like. I just felt it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, it looked really bad. I was not very optimistic because I could see on the weather charts that wind was still blowing out of the north, and that was just going to pack in that ice. And then they said they disappeared. And, I feared, well, that's just because the ice closed over them. But apparently the ice thinned out and they did get out. They have been seen and identified, apparently.
Thank goodness. Yeah. I'm glad there was a good ending to that, because it was looking really, really scary.
I was having these thoughts when I saw that, and we were all so worried. And I just had this in my mind that matriarch knows how to get through that. She's done that before. She's going to save them. I just felt so optimistic. And then, the news came out saying, oh, they're not seen. And I'm like, I think they're still okay. I feel like they're still okay. it's so good when I heard that they were spotted, you know, like I feel like that wasn't her first time around going through that with her family. Like they've done that before. She has the knowledge to get her family out. You know, it's just so powerful. Just thought I'd share that.
Oh goodness. Well, I'm just so
Brilliant.
thankful with that. Yeah, exactly. And thank goodness. It's scary. Scary. It was scary for me. Gosh, so that happened this week. It's been like this. This week has just been a roller coaster. We're not going to bypass the stuff going on with Miami Aquarium and losing accreditations and the new or more information on the reports from their visit, from the USDA's visit. It's not looking good. So I like Ma's response more than anything when we talk about it is we just continue to pray for those animals, continue to hold space for those animals, and that they either get it together or they go somewhere that has it together, because those animals they deserve so much more than what they're getting there, from what we can tell from the reports, right? And all the information again that we have is what you guys see on social media. I just don't want to ignore it because it's happening and it's kind of a big deal. So it's not kind of, it's a huge deal for those animals especially. So there's something called Our Honor that's out there. They're starting a petition, and it's a bunch of veterinarians, and there's a lot of people stepping in, and something will happen for the benefit of those animals. We know that. We know that. Someone else put in the comments, I had that on my list as well, about One Voice in the Whale Sanctuary Project. So let me put that picture up. This came out this week too. One Voice in the Whale Sanctuary Project proposed collaboration with Marineland Antibes to retire 3 orcas to sanctuary. So if you guys haven't, go to the whalesanctuaryproject.org and get the latest update on that. To my knowledge, that is the only sanctuary that's in process of being built right now. That's has all the studies done and all of that. So let's put our energy toward whatever sanctuary is done fastest. Let's get these whales to them. Let's get these whales to them. So we will support any and all sanctuaries available for these animals. And Christina and Ma, do you guys want to talk a little bit about the meditation, the worldwide meditation that just happened this weekend for Naya? Ma, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, Christina's the
Just
best
reading
one.
my mind.
No, Christina it was her idea to do this, so Christina should be the one to speak about it.
Well, I'm just a firm believer in mass consciousness, prayer, meditation, and I know that there is a sanctuary there in Russia already. And I also know that it's only one man that can make that decision. It's not a whole bunch of people on a SeaWorld bandwagon. It's literally just one person that can make that decision, which is, I know, well, yeah. He's an interesting person to say it very nicely, but still, he has a heart for animals, I noticed. And I know there's some people working in the background ready to translate a letter into Russian so we can send it to him. And there's a really good chance that she could literally go to sanctuary, and then we could, get another orca to go to the sanctuary as well, because we obviously don't want her to be alone. So so I just thought, we could do a worldwide meditation for a few days. It's the new moon today, so new moon blessings, a good time to manifest your intentions. And I just thought we could all just put a little bit of attention on her and send her love and healing, because she really needs it. She's lost a lot, and she's only 11 years old. She was captured when she was like 1, maybe 2. So she's just a tiny baby for herself. and she's lost everything that she's ever known. So I just thought we could send her some good vibes and healing strength. So if you have it in you, please do so. Light a candle, say a prayer or a meditation, whatever it is you do. I mean, to me, it's all the same. It's just the intention that we put out there. So please do.
Thank you, Christina, for doing that. It's there's so many. There's so many. I mean, Shemank, we were just saying before, we don't know what's going on with him. There's like this pause. There's just so many, and I think that I think it's important to take those moments, those weekends, those days to focus on each one of those animals. Corky, I mean, just all of them, just so that they can feel loved, and they're not forgotten. They're not forgotten. And so thank you for doing that. Alejandro, I want to check in with you. Somebody's asking how Toki's Law is coming. Is there any movement there? Do you need any support? What's happening?
I can't say anything at the moment. So if we have any information, I will keep update. But takes time. It's not easy. It's about politicians. It's not. And this war is crazy right now. We have a war. It's just Ukraine, just in Europe. It's a mess, everything. So it's about time. Had to wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just know that people are backing you and ready to step into action whenever.
Even I would love to push the idea of getting released for shaman, in Argentina. But my country now is a mess. You can imagine what's going on there. So it's not good time to approach, it's very bad actually. Even the government tried to bring a law just to fix the country and was rejected by the other party, So it's a mess actually now. It's about time. We had to wait for changes, I think. Yes.
Thank you, Alejandro.
You're welcome.
Let's reminder why we're here, right? And our focus right now on Toki's legacy, and what are we saying, right? Breach the dams, save her family. Howard, can you stand up? Casey, take your jacket off. Breach the dams.
The boss is first. The boss is first.
Here we are.
His legacy. Yeah, you guys. Oh, look, our bid's at 300. Who was it earlier? Karen, was it? Who is it that bid the first one? Do I hear
Nikki.
Nikki.
It was
Do
Nikki.
I hear 325? Nikki. Here we go. That's my best.
How about 400?
Hey, let's go 400. Anybody want
Maybe
400?
500.
I want to bid on Howard's shirt.
Speaking
I'll
of
get you one,
Howard's shirt,
Marcia.
you can
And
get Howard's shirt. Maybe not Howard's shirt. You can get a duplicate of Howard's shirt at the Etsy shop. So Casey, if you can put those the link to in the comments, please, just so folks have it very easily accessible to oh look, we have someone going 325. Passion Fruits International. Hey, can you put your name next to that? Please redo that because I don't know who that is, but that's awesome. Thank you for the bid 325. Casey's Etsy shop selling those shirts, you guys, and the proceeds as well are going to Toki's legacy. So thank you, Casey, for that. It's the work, right? It's the work, the energy, the love that's going into all these things. People aren't getting, paid to do this. So thank you guys. Let's see. Oh, it's from who is it? It's trying to. Oh, it is Nikki. Okay, Nikki's from a different account. Nikki's at 325. Thanks, guys. So you guys continue to bid. If anyone wants to go 350, 400, 600, whatever, go ahead and do it. But let's get to our education section, our 137 species, and I will let Howard intro the 137 species. Do you mind, Howard, just to give us a overview of how the salmon and the dams affects 137 other species.
No, sure. This was a revelation about 10 years ago that the director of the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife uh, wrote a paper, a theory, but based on the studies of the Fish and Wildlife Department, that not only would salmon be greatly enhanced in their whole survival and population and abundance would be increased tremendously by breaching the dams, but by doing that, 137 species that he enumerated and described exactly the linkages of birds and mammals and amphibians and reptiles would all be improved, would be benefited by by opening up the Snake River and allowing those anadromous fish to go out to the ocean and come back big and packed with ocean nutrients after 2 or 3 or 4 years and swim upstream and spawn and perish on the side of the streams, having completed their entire life cycle. And those nutrients that they carry in their fish bodies all the way up the sides of mountains, sometimes hundreds of miles back and 1,000 feet of elevation, will replenish the food supplies for, again, 137 species of animals. And that doesn't even count the plant life, because that goes into the plants. The ocean nitrogen has been found, can be found at any time in the trees and in the shrubbery and the plant life around the streams where those salmon spawn. So it's a necessary linkage from the ocean to the mountainsides, to the watersheds. So we're celebrating the 137 species that are benefited by having those salmon be able to swim upstream and spawn.
And I just want to give Alma a shout out, because Alma has put together these slides for us each week, finding some very interesting facts. So Howard, let's start with you.
There we are. Red-throated loon is one of them, and it is known for its distinctive red throat during the breeding season. The red-throated loon is a captivating sight in the Arctic skies. A master diver and long-distance migrant, this bird frequents the coastal waters in winter, that'd be now, so they're up there now, offering a melodious call that echoes across the water. Its solitary behavior and elegant flight make it a fascinating subject for bird watchers across the globe.
Awesome. And then Ma?
Yep, the Virginia opossum. The name opossum was used for the first time in Western culture in 1608 by Captain John Smith. It is from the Algonquin. I think that, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think it's Algonquin word opossum, meaning wise animal. When startled or frightened, opossums can pretend to be dead or play possum. An individual will curl up with its mouth open, its tongue hanging out, while remaining motionless. Their breathing slows down for a few minutes or up to several hours. They will tolerate being poked or prodded or even bitten by an animal without reaction. This play can enable the opossum to escape predation, as most predators do not eat carrion. Opossums have the greatest number of teeth of any land mammal, 50 of them, all razor sharp.
Can you hear me now?
Hear you now.
Pied-billed grebe. The pied-billed grebe is the only grebe on record to have visited the Galapagos Islands. Pied-billed grebes do not have webbed feet. Their toes have lobes that come out from the side of each toe. These lobes allow for easy paddling. They eat their own feathers and also feed their feathers to their young to aid in digestion. This prevents injury from small bones of their prey, such as fish and crustaceans. When alerted, the chicks will climb on the back of their parents and eventually mature to dive under the water like their parents. Sometimes the parents may even dive underwater to get food with the chicks on their backs. Pied-billed grebes have cone-dense retinas in their eyes that allow the birds to locate prey underwater. The closest living relatives of the grebe family are flamingos.
And I'm doing white-tailed deer. They communicate with one another through several types of vocalization, such as grunts, bleats, and wheezes. When looking for food, mothers leave their fawns in hiding places until they come back, and we see that around here all the time. The white-tailed deer is the official state animal of the following states: Arkansas, Illinois, Michigan, Mississippi, Nebraska, New Hampshire, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and South Carolina. Furthermore, white-tailed deer are the national symbol of Honduras and Costa Rica. They do get around.
The tree swallow. The tree swallow, which is the most often seen in open, treeless areas, gets its name from its habitat of nesting in tree cavities. They also take readily to nest boxes. Tree swallows have helped researchers make major advances in several branches of ecology, and they are among the best suited bird species in North America. Still, we know little about their lives during migration and winter. The oldest tree swallow on record was at least 12 years and 1 month old when it was recaptured and released during banding operations in Ontario in 1998.
Caw! I'm a caw. Sorry, it's very caw. The American crow. Crows have some of the largest brain to body ratios of all birds and have a higher density of neurons than many primates. Crows have been known to make and use tools such as sticks to wedge under bark to find food. Some crows even use bread as bait to attract fish to hunt. The American crow take ant baths and let ants clean their feathers. They lie on an ant heaps, letting ants insert into their feathers and remove dirt and debris. Crows have been known to hold funerals for their dead, gathering around a deceased crow as if mourning. It is believed that they do this in order to learn why the bird died so they can avoid similar threats. And they also will bring you shiny objects if you feed them regularly because they're really amazing. And they also recognize faces. And it's a genetic thing because they pass it down to their offspring. And if you're mean to a crow, they'll never forget it, as well as their children will never forget it. So you should be nice to them.
Wow. Oh. All right, mountain lion. Look at that picture, man. Mountain lions hold the record for having the most names with 40 different nicknames. Puma, cougar, panther, and catamount are just a few. Cougars typically only eat once or twice a week. They cannot roar the way a lion does, but can make sounds like a human scream. An Incan city in Peru called Cusco was designed to be the same shape as a cougar. If cougars can't finish eating their kill in one go, they hide it behind bushes or under leaves and return to it later. That's interesting. All right, here we go. Marcia, I think.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I got to find it. There it is. Okay. The short-billed gull, moo gull, was often called mew gull until 2021 when it was split from the common gull of Eurasia and officially renamed. The name mew gull has an interesting story. Mew is derived not from its cat-like call, but rather from zeemeeu, an old Dutch name for the bird zee in Dutch that means sea, and mew means gull. Thus, the mew gull in Dutch is literally seagull. Although the short-billed gull is a common bird along the Pacific coast, it is a rarity in the East. Similar-looking birds that appear along the Atlantic coast are likely to be common gulls from Europe. The short-billed gull is the only white-headed gull that regularly uses trees for nesting. It's pretty.
Okay, and now I'm a vagrant shrew. Vagrant shrews are highly active and constantly on the move, hence their name. They have voracious appetite and can consume up to 3 times their body weight in food each day. Vagrant shrews use echolocation to navigate and find prey. They emit ultrasonic vocalizations and listen for the echoes that bounce back, helping them locate objects in their environment. Vagrant shrews play a crucial role in their ecosystems as predators of insects and other invertebrates. By controlling populations of pests, they help maintain the balance of the ecosystem.
Awesome. I'm really starting to like these shrews. I never even knew what a shrew was. All
Me
these
too.
kinds of, I love them. They're cute. All right, let's go back here to Marcia.
I get to read twice today. Sperm whales, I'm fascinated with them, and they're amazing, so I'm going to read these great facts. Sperm whales are the world's largest predators. Unlike blue whales, which are baleen that use hair-like substance to filter plankton from the water, a sperm whale has about 40 teeth along only its lower jaw. Examinations of dead sperm whale stomachs, it shows that sperm whale has 4 stomach chambers. They don't chew their food. What good are teeth when you don't chew your food? Some researchers believe that sperm whales use their teeth as little antennas to assist in echolocation or even holographic communication. That is so wild. The brain of a sperm whale is 6 times larger than that of a human brain and in many ways more complex. The lateral lemniscus, which processes sound, is 250 times the size of a human's. The neocortex, the part of the brain that in humans governs higher level functions such as conscious thought, future planning, and language, is estimated to be about 6 times larger in the sperm whale brain than it is in ours. It's possible that whales have emotional lives not unlike our own. That's a big duh. In 2006, researchers at New York City's Mount Sinai School of Medicine discovered that sperm whales had spindle cells, the long and highly developed brain structures that neurologists associate with speech and feelings of compassion, love, suffering, and intuition. Those things that makes humans human. Fascinating. They're so cool.
Yes. Thank you, Alma. I know you're watching. Thank you for doing all the work to make sure that we can share this information every single week with everybody. And thank you to all our fabulous readers on screen. Good job, everybody. Thank you for playing along. Really do appreciate it. 10 more next week. 10 new, not new, but yeah, new to you guys. So 10 other animals, 10 other species that are impacted by the salmon who are impacted by the dams. So we will continue to do that. We're talking about next week. Let's talk about next week. So we have a special guest next week, Deb Cruz. What can you tell us about Dana Lyons?
He's my favorite. Go ahead, Howie.
Oh, Dana's great. Dana is just a wonderful soul, and he gets it all and sings about it and sings beautifully about the oceans and about the whales. He's got a wonderful song dedicated to Granny J2, and of course his newly I don't know, produced release is Love Song to Jane Goodall, and I love that song.
That's sweet.
Well, you'll see the breach the dams, the signs
Oh, yeah.
with the black and the big red X through it. Though that's Dana.
I see them every time I drive by my house.
Yeah. Very passionate activist and very down to earth person. Very loving.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we look forward to hear sing and maybe a little live music next week, and also hearing about how just his journey through all of this too, and breaching the dams and the importance and why this has touched his heart. It's always important to see how we're all connected. I think, and we'll get some live jams next week, so that's super exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. Someone's asking. Yes, Pearson, thank you. I'm so glad we're still gathering too. The link for the donations for the GoFundMe, I know it's in there somewhere in the comments, but so that people don't have to keep scrolling, can you guys drop it in one more time, the GoFundMe link, please? Pearson is asking, and again, you guys, if you want to, when you make that donation, $10 or more, you're going to be entered into the little raffle that we have going on, and you can send your comment to. Oh, it happens when both Deb Cruz and I have controls. You can send your message to TokiTV 2022 at gmail.com. So that's when where you can send your message. For those of you on YouTube that don't have comments, Abel, if you're trying to vote, if you're trying to outbid that 325, do I hear 350? You can also send your bid to TokiTV 2022 at gmail.com. But just a few more minutes, guys, because at the end of the show, the bidding closes. So you guys have, I don't know, 10 more minutes. I don't think we're going to chat more than 10 more minutes to get your bids in. Also next week, I think that's what we decided. I hope it's what we decided. We're going to have another opportunity for you guys to bid on something very special. Marcia, want to tell us about this?
Do you want to put the picture up or should I go? Okay. Yeah. So back in the late 80s, early 90s, as an enrichment project, I helped Toki learn how to paint, and she never had to do it. It was something, if she chose to come over and paint, she could choose to do it. She always chose to come and do it. She got to pick the colors. She held the paintbrush in her mouth. I held the canvas there. I usually squeezed the paint right onto it. And it was a pleasurable experience for her to do. And so we actually raised some money from some of her paintings to help a manatee cause when I was working there. I don't know if any money actually went to that because, there's some corruption going on. But at any rate, there's only about 10 of these in the world, I think, maybe a dozen. And I thought I think they're beautiful and they have Toki spirit in them. So I made a print. It's 16 by 20. It's on a poster, semi-gloss poster. So I decided that might be fun to put that out there and see if anybody would love it. So, because I do. It's been in my bedroom for 30 years. So.
Thank you, Marcia. And it's a print, like she says, 16 by 20. It's pretty big. So we'll bid on that next week. I know a lot of people will just call it out because I know a lot of people are like, we don't like when they have them paint. But like Marcia said, it's something she chose to do. It was never something they made her do. And she actually engaged in that and wanted to do that. So I can imagine being there, day and night. You just you probably welcome any kind of interaction. And the painting, if you look at it, just I don't know, it's like there's a message,
I called it the two dancers because just to me it looks like people dancing. I don't know, like there's legs, there's arms, and it just looked like people enjoying themselves and having fun. I mean, you can turn it any direction and probably see a million different images in there. So
Yeah.
But I really wonder if Toki was actually trying to depict two dancers, because I sure see it.
Yep.
I mean, she could
right,
well have
once
been
you see it, you
doing
can't
exactly
unsee it.
that. That's a really amazing story. I have not seen those before. That's it.
It's like the energy of it, right? And it's like this message, like what was she trying to say? You know, I don't know, Marcia, I'm making stuff up. But I do feel connected, and she danced with you in the water.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
mean, I always thought our interactions in the water wasn't like me making her do stuff. It was us dancing together. And she had a lot of exuberance for doing that. And she seemed to really enjoy it. You know, I know there's a lot of talk about, you know, making them do stuff, but when they're in a bowl, you have to provide them with things to do, enrichment.
It was definitely enrichment. It was a chance to be creative and interact and play with someone. I mean, what a beautiful experience you helped her have, and she helped you have. So I mean, truly interactive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe it's you guys dancing. Maybe it's you and Toki.
That was my
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, and I have a couple of them that I kept over the years. I have one that I gave to my mother that Toki painted it while my mom was there. So it has my mom and Toki's energy in it. I think if you want to put that one up, you can show everyone in that if you'd like. This one is
let me
really
load
big.
it.
It's probably 3 feet by about 3.5. It's a large painting, but
wow. How did she hold the brush in her mouth? Was it a big
I still have her paintbrush. Actually, I kept it for all these years. It was a big, pretty wide brush, and I just put it in her mouth, and she held it at the tip. And she would do this thing where she would paint a little bit, and still holding the brush, she would back up and kind of like look into her eye, and then settle back in and do it. Yeah, she did that quite often. And I thought that was really cool, because it wasn't just she's like trying to get it over with. She really took time, sometimes a long time, like 30 minutes. She'd be like, I think I'm done now. You know, as an artist, you never know when you're actually done. It's kind of like that. Wait, there's more. There it is. It's a big piece. It doesn't fit into the right. But yeah.
I see a lot of birds and dolphins and whales in that one. If you zoom in on that one, you can see a lot of stuff. It's like amazing. She knew what she was doing.
And at the end of this one, she got done and she took a mouthful of water and sprayed it onto the canvas. So it has that. Yeah, like she misted it. She went and sprayed it. Like that was the final touch.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Someone was asking, is it the original? It's the print. Marcia has the original. This is the print. Is there going to be a limit on prints, Marcia?
Yeah, you know, we were just going to put this one out there and see if it's something that if we can raise funds to help Toki's family through her art from 30 years ago, then absolutely, I'm happy to do that. So if this one does well and we can raise some money from that, then I'm happy to put more out there. I have 4 altogether. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whatever
All right,
helps.
guys. Just a couple more minutes. Anybody bidding $350?
And then next week we're gonna have the rally, or not the rally, the
Raffle. The raffle for these.
Cute. Yes.
So remember, to get in the raffle, go to the GoFundMe. Did you guys put it back in the comments again?
Yep.
Okay,
It's in the comments.
Go back in the comments, guys. Scroll through, find the GoFundMe. It'll be all over the place. We'll make a post about this too. All of these things will be up for grabs, and to get your name into the raffle, into our fun little spinny wheel. Donate $10 or more on the GoFundMe. Excuse me.
And it's really fun. We have a lot of fun with the spinning wheel. So
thank you.
Anybody is allowed to smoke in the show, okay, while doing the show.
I'm not
Annette, you should stop smoking, you know.
He's so funny. He's so funny. Oh boy.
How is the beat doing here? What's going on with the beat?
Looks
I
like we're
think
at
it's at 325.
325. Let's close that in 2 minutes. We're gonna close that in 2 minutes. I'm looking at my clock. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Let's see. Anything else we wanna say to close out? Maz, or anything you want to say before we go?
There I am. Just thank you. Thank you, whatever you can afford, for the salmon, and putting your message on there so that Inslee does get the message that we're not going away. And this has got to be done, and it's got to be done this year. And thank you to everyone that's bidding on my artwork as well. Just brilliant, and it's all to help Toki's family. That's what she wants us to do. We've got to look after her family, and we've got to breach those dams, and this money will go, as Christina said, to whatever is needed at the march, because microphones and electronic equipment, there's just so much that goes into it, along with all the printing costs as well. So every penny will be used so that we can carry on with one demonstration after another. It'll just keep getting used until we're able to get that message across to the government and Inslee that this needs to be done, and it needs to be done now.
Thank you, Ma. And Elizabeth is watching. You can email me, Elizabeth, the message you want to the same email that you just emailed me now, the message, and I'll go ahead and put the $10 donation in the GoFundMe for you, and then you and I can figure it out offline. Anyone else wants to send their message to TokiTV2022@gmail.com. Again, buy a salmon, get your message, be part of it. Christina, anything else?
Right, and that's going to be going on this week. So you have this week to go ahead and go buy a salmon to have your message put on. And I think your message can be as long as you want. If we can't get it on the back of the salmon, we'll just put it on a piece of paper. We'll just, and we'll attach it to the salmon. Because if you have a long message, then that's great. So please, write your messages to Governor Inslee. That's who we're targeting this time, right? But we're going to have others, as I said. So this is an ongoing process, because we will breach those dams. We will breach those dams. We're going to do it. It takes all of us to do it, though. So don't forget, we all have to do it together. So I love you all of you on the screen and off of the screen. Ma, your paintings are they're always beautiful, but you put some Toki wetsuit in it, it's like,
Thank you.
it makes me, so thank you for your hard work and all your painting. Really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yes.
Alejandro?
Thank you, Marcia, for all your donations. I have my bracelet here, and thank you for everything you are donating, And Ma, thank you. You are doing an amazing job. Your paintings are so beautiful,
Thank you.
And I hope people can get it and donate the most they can, just for helping the orcas, for helping, to breach the dams, for everything. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. We see you next weekend, next Sunday.
Thanks, Alejandro. Casey, Stephanie?
Thank you, Ma and Marcia. Kudos to you. Wow, this is so awesome. And just for everyone, please keep those prayers up for all the captive orcas, Shemink and Corky and the little one in Russia. She needs our help too.
Thank you. Deb Cruz.
Don't miss Dana next week.
Pretty good.
Otherwise, it'll be a nice way to wind up a really good week.
Yeah, thank you. Howard?
Yes, well, thank you, Ma, for donating your beautiful painting, and thank you, Marcia, for showing us Toki's incredible artwork. I had no idea, and thanks everybody and who participated in any way, all the Facebook users and all the people that commented, and let's come back next week for Dana.
Yes. Marcia?
Muted.
Oh, I got it. Okay. I just want to say I'm so proud and happy to be a part of this pod that we've sort of grabbed around and just coalescing around Toki's legacy. And it's a big movement. It's like we're a wave. It's going to be hard to stop us. And I'm just so happy to have met all of you. Toki brought me all of you, literally. So that's really cool. And I'm in it for the long haul, as I know you guys are. So thanks for everything, you guys. It's a pleasure to be with you all the time.
Thanks, Marcia. You guys, thank you. Let me double check all the other little areas. Let's see. So, Nikki, you are the winner of the bid. So if you can get in touch with Ma, if you don't know how to get in touch with Ma directly, you can also send an email to that TokiTV2022@gmail.com, and we will get you in touch. Thank you, guys. It makes a difference. Again, Howard, can you stand up one more time? There you go, Casey and Howard. Breach the dam, save her family, Toki's legacy. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week. Mwah. See you later. Oh, I have everybody muted. You can't hear it. Everyone's laughing. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Hasta la vista.
Toki, baby, Ulysses,
Baby. Hasta luego.
and the 55 plus orca that's in captivity. This song is dedicated to you. Out on the ocean swimming free, it's where I'm supposed to be. Not living my life in captivity. That kind of life is not for me. Take me home.